The Google Pixel 6a now running Android 13. Bit of a dual purpose video with the Google Pixel 6a now coming in at $399, which I think is really where it should be. If Google is going to insist on selling the Pixel 6 at $499, it really put this thing in a weird spot. You'd have the Pixel 6 eating into a lot of sales for the 6a if it's only a $50 difference and you get all that other stuff that comes with the Pixel 6. That was a tough sell. But at $399, now you've put enough distance where you say, okay, there's actual reasons why you'd pick up a 6A over a 6, and $100 is certainly the difference. I want to talk about a bit about Android 13 because I want to respond to a lot of the comments I saw on my video regarding the Pixel 6 and the battery drain. The battery drain on my 6A is not nearly what it was on my regular Pixel 6. And I've heard it both ways. I've heard people saying, well, no, it's just the phone itself. There's a problem. And I've heard other people say, well, it's the adaptive battery learning. Well, let me tell you something. Okay, if it's the adaptive battery learning, then here's a note to Google engineers. You got to come up with a better way of doing it. My Samsung Galaxy Fold 4 right now is doing just fine on battery. But even if it weren't, it tells me when I go into battery settings, it'll say, oh, hold on a minute. You know, we're just trying to learn stuff, so give us a few moments and we'll try to figure out your battery usage, and then we'll be able to give you more detailed information. They'll tell you nothing. The Google backend, you don't know if it's working right, if it's adapted, if it's not adapted, anything. So if they need a more intelligent battery system, because there's no way, now it's not like this on the 6A, but there's no way you're going to tell me that on the Pixel 6, if you're going from 12 to 13, or the 13 beta like I did, to the regular 13 stable, that they could think it's okay to just nuke your battery life for a week and you gotta live with it. And you don't know whether it's a bug, whether there's something draining, because those bugs, those things that were draining when I showed you the battery usage were previous problems. The mobile network bug was something that was draining battery. Messages, the camera app was draining battery. Those were previous issues. And when what we'll see when I go ahead and do the Android 13 for the Pixel 4 XL next week is that, yeah, old problems creep back in to new versions of Android. The Pixel 4 has a couple issues that really annoy me, and they were ones that were solved on Android 12 that have now come back to Android 13. So while we'd like to think in an ideal world that, well, we use it for a few days, undetermined amount of time, we're just going to use it. And when it adapts, you'll know. Yeah, okay, that's nice. But also, there could be bugs there. And you don't know. You don't know whether it's adapting. You don't know whether it's not adapting. You don't know whether I turned it off and on. Didn't seem to make a difference. You don't know if it's fine, but then there's bugs that they're going to have to fix. Whether yours has a... It's a dumb system. It needs to be more intelligent than that in order to be able to serve the consumer. Other than that, and the reason why that annoys me, so I got to calm down. You know, serenity now. I got to calm down, and because it annoys me, because the regular the Pixel 6a experience on Android 13 is quite good. It was the one I was waiting for. When this released with 12, I was kind of a little disappointed because it had some of the hiccups that 12 still had. It wasn't quite the super smooth experience that 13 was that I was running on my Pixel 6. So I was really looking forward to Android 13 on this. And for the most part, I get that experience. Outside of the battery life, and like I said, the hit on the 6a is less than the hit you get on the 6. The 6, I was getting 40 to 50% less battery life. This, 20%, which is within the range that I'd buy, at least on adaptive battery. When you start hitting me at 50%, I'm like, you got to come up with something better than that. 20%, I could say, okay, well, you're relearning some stuff. And this one I at least buy relearning because I had come from 12 to 13. I didn't have the beta in between. So the Pixel 6 has less excuses than this phone does. And I'm seeing better battery life on my 6A than I am on my 6. Now, a couple things could factor into that. But at $399, I think you're going to love the experience overall if they're able to get that done. Either come out and say something, hopefully it adapts, or they patch it quickly. Because this is the experience that I was waiting for. And it starts with the fingerprint sensor. I know a lot of people talk about it. Seems like a small thing. But when it's a front-end user experience thing that you do every time that you open the phone, it seems bigger than it actually is. And something that I've thought from the beginning, the fingerprints issue was software-based. Android 12 was still having issues on my 6A. 13 super smooth. Very limited issues. I didn't have that partial fingerprint detected. If you were somebody that had your 6A, what were you getting all the time? You were getting the flash and it says, oh, partial detected, partial detected, partial detected. None of that. It's running nice and smooth. A lot of people were saying in the last video, how are you getting Twitter to run so smoothly? I'll tell you why. Because it's Android 13. Android 13 is a phenomenal performer. It really just is everything that we wanted out of 12. It's everything that we wanted out of these devices up front. And now you're going to put it in this package, which is fantastic in the hand. I love the feel of this device. It feels solid. It feels premium. I don't care about the plastic. It feels good. Takes phenomenal photos. Overall, I love the display. It's an OLED. It's fine. It's crisp enough. It's good enough. You're going to have good sound coming out of this thing. I understand it doesn't have the 8 gigs of RAM that a lot of people complain about. 6 is just fine when it's well optimized. You're not going to have an issue there. Performs well. This is the package that you want at $399 on the Android side. And you'd be hard-pressed to find something that's as detailed, as well thought out, as well supported going into the future as the 6A. But that's what makes the things like the battery life that much more infuriating. Because they have it right here. It's all here. It's close. It's right there. They're right at the goal line. But for some reason, with the 6 and the 6A now, there could be at the goal line. They could have everything lined up, ready to go, but they can't just, they're like Pete Carroll. Hand it off to Marshawn Lynch. You're going to be throwing in the 1 yard line. That's how you get intercepted. That's how Tom Brady has 25 Super Bowls. Google just needs to punch it into the end zone. Figure it out. If it's something where you're going to say, oh, it's adaptive battery, good. Put a little indicator that says, oh, your battery's still adapting. Please give us 7 to 10 business days to get your battery righted again. And the more potential, like I got upset with the Galaxy A53 5G, the more potential a device has, the more annoyed I get when stupid things get in the way of the potential. And this is just an absolutely great device to use. Feels excellent in the hand, well built, and the software experience is spot on now. It's money. It's right up there with the smoothest flagship experiences on One UI. And if all of you use One UI on mid-tier devices, then you don't know what I'm talking about because the mid-tier device optimization on those is garbage. The flagship level S22, S21 Ultra, One UI experience, this goes blow for blow with that. It is that good to use. Then you put Tensor behind it. Then you put the Pixel Extras behind it. You don't know how much you miss now playing until you don't have it. What is the name of that song? Oh, look, right here. There's a lot to love about this Pixel, but they have to be vigilant. They have to make sure that there are no issues there. And if it is where the battery life is just okay, it's going to get better, well, come out and say that. Don't leave us hanging. But if it starts to be where that mobile network bug is back, where the messages bug with the camera app is back, then I'm going to have issues. And it's a shame because this is a phenomenal device. And I still would recommend people pick it up at $399 because that is an unreal price. When you think about what you get at $299, what you're used to getting in that sub $400 price range, this is excellent. Absolutely excellent. But, as always, there's always a little question mark. There's always a little something with Google that they got to throw in there to make it, to stop it from being a grand slam home run. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.